I'm Rob, Komodo Fire Systems, account manager for Capstone. This is Daryl Meadows. He is our SoCal rep. He's going to be handling a lot of your guys' day-to-day stuff, but I'll be the overall account manager for you. Today we're going to go over what you guys should be doing, your best practices for the Komodo product before you guys batch mix and start loading into your trucks. This is the K500C Phantom Blue coloring. It is the liquid concentrate. It matches out at a 4-to-1 ratio, 4 gallons of water for every gallon of liquid concentrate. This is 275 gallons of it. We've got an empty tote over there that we're going to be pumping it over to eventually to batch it. But this product does have some solids that are, think of like some volcanic ash and inert objects on a molecular level. So as it's stored and as it's sitting here, it will have a little bit of striation and it will settle out a little bit. To ensure good efficacy of the product on your truck, before you guys batch mix it, you must re-agitate and re-homogenize the liquid concentrate. Get it thoroughly mixed up. Easy way to do that, the way we have it set up here, we've got a 2-inch pipe coming out the bottom, hooked up to a very simple trash pump. Run the hose right back into the top. You're going to mix it for about 5-10 minutes until everything is thoroughly mixed. And then simply take the hose from the top, put it into your batch vessel, and add the appropriate amount of liquid concentrate that you guys are trying to mix out. Pretty simple process.
So here we are, rotating the product, mixing it. It's going to be done for 10 minutes.
Okay, so we've already taken about 10-15 minutes to remix our concentrate, re-homogenize everything. Now we're simply taking the hose, instead of going right back into the concentrate tote, we're going to go into our batch tank. This is another 275-gallon tote. So in order to mix it and batch it at the manufacturer's recommendation of 4-to-1, we need to add 55 gallons of concentrate, and then we will add the rest of it with water. So let's fire your pump up. Transferred it over. Make sure, obviously, before you disconnect your hose, close your ball valve. Now, all we got to do is fill the rest of that up with water. We're going to switch over from the bottom of this tote to the bottom of that tote, and we're going to recirculate it for another 10-15 minutes to batch it. Water, we put 55 gallons of concentrate in there, so we're going to have, quick math, 215 gallons of regular water to get our 4-to-1 ratio. Once we add the water, we'll re-hook up the pump, we will recirculate to batch mix it. Once it's batch mixed, it will be ready to load into one of your engines and go out and spray. Okay. So we've added the water, now we're ready to recirculate and batch mix this product. So we're going to have to take the hose off the bottom of the concentrate tank, put it from the pump to the bottom of the retardant tank, and then the discharge hose back up to the top. We're going to let it recirculate and mix for about 15 minutes. We open the bottom valve, we've got it hooked up to the pump. He's going to fire the pump up, we're going to let it run, he's going to hold it. About 10-15 minutes, you got ready to use retardant to go out and be heroes.
Now I was asking if the tank is sitting there for a while, would you have to re-agitate it?
Yeah, so there is going to be a little bit of settling that happens. When you guys have it in your vehicles, you drive around, just your sloshing is going to keep it re-agitated, or you can always turn on the recirculation feature of your engine. That will re-agitate as well. In the storage tank where it's just sitting stagnant, if it stays untouched for about a month, you probably want to hook up to it, remix it, re-homogenize it, go from there. No matter what, before you guys batch it or make a new batch, you want to do this remixing feature. So the question was asked, what's going to happen if there's some commingling of products in the tank? The quick answer is when it comes to gel or whatever product you guys use, we have never tested any of that, so we don't know. As a manufacturer, we recommend before you put this in your truck, thoroughly flush, thoroughly clean, make sure it's free from any outside product before you throw the Komodo in there, and vice versa. After you use the Komodo, flush it out, rinse it out before you add the gel products. I know you guys are moving away from some of the Phos-Check products. I will know we have tested cohabiting with Phos-Check as well as Fortress, which is no longer in business. They don't play well together because those other products have some anti-corrosion inhibitors involved that do not react well. And so if you happen to have some Phos-Check left and you throw in Komodo with it, expect it to turn into almost like a stucco. And it will gum up your pumps, it will ruin bearings, it will ruin impellers, and it becomes super corrosive.
Thank you. Well, what you just about the trucks and the
We're
hoses?
talking about your personal equipment that you've got in your company. Just make sure after every use that you're flushing out all your lines. You want to make sure none of the product will be like laying in your hoses and stuff like that at the end of the day. You walk away and go home or whatever. You forget about it, and the next thing you know, you try to go and use it again, and it's all clogged up. And we're going to get a call and say, hey, your stuff is clogging up our stuff. And it's really the fact that you just left it in the hose.
The other side of it is at the end of the season, when you guys are putting your trucks away for the winter time or whatever, make sure it's thoroughly flushed, thoroughly clean. If you leave any of this product in a hose, just sitting if it's in a valley and it didn't drain, something like that, it will, when exposed to air, kind of crystallize and gum up and clog whatever it's in. The solution to that, if you don't want to pull it apart and rebuild it and clean it out, throw water in it. Let it sit for a few days. It will rehydrate. It will break that down. It will re-moisten to where you can flush it out. But it is important on the maintenance side of things to make sure when you're done with use, clean and flush thoroughly.
The thing is the trash bomb. It's easy to forget about it. You put it over here and you've used it. It's got the stuff in there. You just want to make sure you hook it up with some clean water. Dump it out.
Great point.
So this is one of our demo kits. This is to show you guys how well Komodo actually works. And this is the kind of protection you guys are going to be able to spray out the end of your hose. Half of this tray is treated, and the other half is not. This is a very light, flashy fuel. It's Aspen Excelsior. This is a substrate that the USDA uses for their QPL qualification. This and Ponderosa Pine Needle, they say is the most flammable, flashy fuel in the forest. If your product doesn't work on this, instantly fail. You'll see this is a 3200 degree MAP gas torch. It won't burn. It releases a water vapor. It releases a carbon that isolates the cellulose. It also releases NO2 and CO2, which helps extinguish the flames. It essentially takes 2.5 legs out of that fire train. You can see on the untreated side, instantly it lights up, and it will not burn into the treated vegetation. So this would be your wildfire scenario. This would be the asset you're trying to protect. And this is the results you're going to get at the end of your hose. It's almost one of those, thou shall not pass kind of moments. It will not burn. It's like spraying a dozer line out of your hose. This protection works wet or dry. You do not have to treat it immediately in front of a flaming front. You can treat this days, weeks, months ahead of time. Until you get 4 inches of rainfall, this protection will last. So again, 3200 degree torch. As soon as you remove the heat, there's no flame, there's no ignition. So imagine that. You sprayed a line around your structure or whatever asset. You've got ember cast. Ember cast is not 3200 degrees focused heat. An ember is not going to light that on fire if this torch is not going to light that on fire. See?
We're good.
Okay, so this here, we just like to demonstrate how we can actually integrate Komodo protection into different substrates, different products. This here is more of like a grease, or petroleum jelly that we've infused with Komodo. This is a standard cardboard box, nothing special, but it's got this layer on it. This is intumescent product. So as soon as it's exposed to heat, you're gonna see it marshmallow and expand and grow. I'm wearing an ungloved hand. There's no transfer of heat, there's no danger. Again, 3200 degree torch, regular cardboard. You see it expand. Okay, we're here, touch it. It's warm, it's not hot. So, the real impressive part, again, is cardboard. That box is untouched. And there's still enough residue. Daryl? I can do it again. It's not going to intumesce up a little bit. There's a little bit more heat transfer, but there's still protection. So imagine something like this on glass when you're doing a structure defense or big type of down and dirty protection.
How does that apply?
Grab a glove, dip your hand in the bucket, and smear.
Smear? Okay, so it's just a...
So we haven't commercially
Okay, so
sold
it's
this.
like a Vaseline consistency?
Yep.
So it could it be rolled on?
You can roll it on if you have a thick. We can make it as thin or as thick as you want. So that's this product. With that torch, cardboard's untouched. We've already sold that product in the Asian market for people in the semiconductor industry that they're going to paint the inside of their lithium-ion battery container. So that's that.